Hey, we pulling?
Hey, I'm Zax, and here's our guide to the Bloodbound Horror, the second boss in Nerub-ar Palace. This guide is brought to you by Wowhead and their brand new raid cheat sheets, which we'll tell you more about right after the boss. Also, big thank you to our supporters on Patreon. Hope you'll enjoy all the Patreon exclusive content we've got coming out this tier, like extended heroic guides and more. Alright, so the Bloodbound Horror is this big red Kool-Aid monster. He only has one phase, it's mostly single target, but there's a small number of ads to cleave sometimes, and you'll want a Bloodlust on pull. But before you pull, you need to split your raid into two halves, with a tank and healers in each half, and assign them as Group 1 and Group 2 to be able to deal with the main mechanic of the boss, which is, every once in a while, the boss spawns ads in a different realm that you can't attack in the normal realm, and you need people to go into that other realm and kill them or else you're dead. So here's what you need to do. The two raid groups should start the fight separate from each other, and the Group 1 tank should start with the boss. When you see where these purple swirly things spawn around the room, showing where the ads are going to spawn, all of Group 1 should move with their tank toward those swirlies. And then when the boss starts casting this big frontal on the tank, all of Group 1 should make sure to get hit by it because it sends everyone it hits to the other realm for a while. Then the Group 2 tank taunts the boss, and Group 1 nukes down all the ads before their time is up and they get sent back to the normal realm automatically. There's always a big ad that has to be tanked and interrupted or else the boss gets a huge shield. And there's up to 2 or 3 caster ads, which all they do is spawn little ads over and over that walk toward the boss and blow up on the raid if they reach it. So everyone should use slows and stuns and knockbacks and all that on the little guys while cleaving everything down on the casters. The casters can spawn split up from each other, so you may need a player or two to go CC or kill the little ads that are far away until the rest of the group cleans up and makes their way over. After Group 1 comes back, the same thing happens for Group 2. The ad swirlies show up, Group 2 moves together and gets hit by the frontal, and they clean up all the ads. Then Group 1 again and repeat. And the reason you have to alternate groups each time is because the frontal gives you a big damage taken increase to the following frontal. On Heroic, shortly after every frontal, the boss spawns these beams out of his sides that rotate slowly around the room for a while, one-shotting anyone they touch. They always rotate to the right looking at the boss, and they're pretty easy to avoid, but the main issue with them is that they can cut the ad group off from being able to reach their ads to kill them in time. Fortunately, because the beams always spawn out of his sides, the tank with the boss can always control where they spawn. So for example, let's say the ads are spawning here. Facing the boss this way and spawning the beams like this is bad because it's going to quickly go through the ads and cut everyone off. So instead, you face the boss like this so the beam is already past the ads and there's plenty of time before the other beam comes all the way around. This positioning is going to take some getting used to, but it's pretty vital to kill the boss on Heroic. All of that is the main challenge of the fight, but there are some other mechanics to deal with. There's some swirlies to dodge that follow random players for a few seconds. Try not to sprint around and move in random directions so they're easier for everyone to dodge. The boss puts a heal absorb on the entire raid every once in a while, which the healers have to deal with, of course. And at full energy, the boss casts this huge circle around himself that everyone has to run out of. Just try to avoid being in the pools on the ground for too long because they do a big damn. And that's pretty much it. For our recaps this tier, we're excited to introduce the new Wowhead cheat sheets, a quick and easy way to get all of the key info for every boss in Nerub-ar Palace, including concise strategies, key assignments, and any pro tips you might need. So check out the cheat sheet link in the description. Thanks again to our supporters on Patreon. We've got a ton of Patreon exclusive content coming this tier, like extended heroic guides, mythic guides, and a bunch more. So check out that link below. See you next time.